Hey guys, today we have the latest 3-axis smartphone gimbal from DJI, the Osmo Mobile 7P, with the introduction of the multifunctional module which enables subject tracking and a few more tricks that I'll share later. The Osmo Mobile 7P is shaping up to be the best smartphone gimbal for 2025. Let's check it out. Inside the box, you get the Osmo Mobile 7P, magnetic phone clamp, multifunctional module, USB-C data cable, USB-C charging cable, storage bag, and some documentation. Despite mainly being a plastic build, it feels really solid in my hand. On top of that, the one-step foldable design makes it so easy to store and carry around. And while we're on the topic of design, the Osmo Mobile 7P also features an extension rod and built-in tripod to make it easy for you to record yourself. Now let's get straight into using this gimbal. Firstly, attach your smartphone to the magnetic clamp, then connect it to the Osmo Mobile 7P, and finally you can unfold the gimbal. It will turn on automatically and you can get straight to shooting content. By the way, you can also unfold the gimbal first before attaching your smartphone. It can balance itself without any smartphone attached. Really handy for those that are new to gimbals and have some trouble balancing the smartphones. In terms of operating the Osmo Mobile 7P, at the front you have the joystick, switch button, record and shutter button, mode and power button, and a status panel that will show you details such as Bluetooth connection, battery life, and gimbal mode. On the left you have the side wheel for zoom and focus control and a USB-C port. Lastly, at the back is the trigger. I'm not going to go through all the buttons with you, but the ones I use the most often is double tapping the switch button to change the orientation. Also, triple tapping the trigger button to rotate the smartphone, and let's say you've already moved it and you want to recenter it very quickly, just double tap the trigger button to recenter the smartphone. And the gimbal mode I use the most often is PTF, which stands for pan, tilt, and follow. I like this mode because it offers me the most flexibility in all axes, but keep in mind that the gimbal also has pan follow, FPV, and spin shot. Moving on to stabilization. The Osmo Mobile 7P features DJI's 7th generation stabilization technology, which allows for impressively smooth shots even in dynamic movements. The handheld footage on the right doesn't even come close to what the gimbal can do, and I'm trying really hard to keep my hands stable. So up to this point, the Osmo Mobile 7P features everything that we would expect from a smartphone gimbal. So I think it's time we take a look at the new multifunctional module. Not only does it enable subject tracking, it's also an adjustable fill light and a wireless DJI Mic Mini receiver. To start tracking, all you have to do is show this gesture. Now, it'll start tracking you. I think it's pretty smooth and accurate, don't you think so? And to stop tracking, just show this gesture again and it will stop tracking. It's as simple as that. Another gesture worth knowing is for reframing the shot. So let me first start by tracking myself, and if I do this gesture, I can move myself in the frame, show this gesture again, and it will track me, but with me being in the place that I reposition myself. Really handy if there's a certain look that you are going for. Lastly, we have the start and stop recording gesture. All you have to do is show this peace sign, and that's it. 3 simple gestures to operate this gimbal. And did you realize how good the audio was? That's because this DJI Mic Mini is connected to the multifunctional module on the gimbal. By the way, this is what it sounds like if I use the built-in iPhone microphone. One thing I forgot to mention about tracking is that since it is now handled by an external module which can be placed facing the front or back, you are now free to use any app with the tracking. You won't be locked down just to the DJI Mimo app like before. This tracking feature is really nice if you have, let's say, a video call with some kids and you just want to make it a much more engaging conversation. With that being said, the Mimo app is still crucial to have because that's how you update the gimbal firmware, and especially for beginners, the story feature guides you frame by frame on how to shoot an epic video. You also have the AI one-tap editor that can help you stitch your videos together from a range of video templates. Going back to the multifunctional module, you can turn it on by pressing the right side button on the side of the module. This button also cycles between 4 brightness levels. The button on the left changes between 4 color temperatures, ensuring that you get the right feel for your subject. Now, remember the side wheel on the gimbal? it can also control the fill light. A long press will activate the light, and turning the wheel forwards or backwards will adjust the brightness. If you press the wheel once again, you will now be able to control the color temperature with the wheel. Alright, so I've switched off all the lights in my studio and the fill light is currently at its lowest brightness. This is probably not enough to light up my face, but we can take it up all the way to the maximum. And as you can tell, it gets pretty bright and it can definitely fill up my face and the space around me. Maybe we need to tone it down just a bit. But yeah, as you can see, this little fill light is insanely bright. I've been testing this gimbal for over a week now, and the battery life is still going very strong. It's rated for 10 hours of usage, and on top of that, when the gimbal is not in use, it can double as a power bank via the USB-C port. And if you're using the multifunctional module, connecting a power bank to the gimbal's USB-C port will further extend the operating time. So after hearing all of that, it's time to ask the important question: is the DJI Osmo Mobile 7P worth it? For $149, you get a portable gimbal that is packed with features such as DJI's 7th gen gimbal stabilization, 10-hour battery life, built-in extension rod with tripod, and the multifunctional module which unlocks amazing features such as subject tracking, DJI Mic Mini reception, and lighting features. So do I think it's worth the price? Absolutely. I always have this gimbal with me in my bag. And since we're already on the topic of pricing, I'd like to also mention that there's also a DJI Osmo Mobile 7. Priced cheaper at only $89, it's a great alternative if you're on a budget, but you do lose features such as the extension rod and most importantly, the multifunctional module that the Osmo Mobile 7P has. So there you go, a quick look at the latest 3-axis smartphone gimbal from DJI, the Osmo Mobile 7P. I'm not gonna lie, the last few generations of the Osmo Mobile gimbal have been a little boring, but with the introduction of the multifunctional module, the Osmo Mobile 7P is a really exciting release, especially if you're serious about capturing professional looking footage with your smartphone. Thank you so much for watching, have fun creating content, and I'll see you guys for the next one. Bye!